I'm completely crippled. My WhatsApp is not working on my phone, so I can't post. I have no idea um, what's going on in the group. But hopefully Rabbi Charlap got the post out, and guys will know that the shir is happening. So we'll wait a few minutes and we'll see if guys come on, and we'll go from there.
Right now, it just says participants 2.
Just me and Rebbe right now.
Right. It could be because it's Lag Boma there. They may have thought that there's nothing today.
Yeah, it's possible.
And especially if it wasn't posted earlier.
Okay, we'll give it 5 minutes or so, and then if nobody comes, then it is what it is.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, Rebbe, you could start. You have a crowd.
Okay. 1 second. So how do I get in? 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is enjoying a very special Lag BaOmer. Can you all hear me? I don't know if I can. Yeah, you hear me? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk tonight. This is Prac, and we're talking about marriage and dating and all kinds of subjects. Chinuch banim. Last week we spoke about chinuch banim, about education. And tonight I want to speak a little bit about an interesting topic, and that is beshert. Beshert is the wife that you married. Is she beshert? Was it ordained in the Shemayim? Could it have been otherwise? That's an issue. And I think everybody knows that our Rebbeim and our leaders, our Manhigim, all tell us that we should consider that our wife is beshert. And we should try to make a go of it, right? As much as possible. We should consider that the wife is beshert. But it's interesting to go a little bit into the history, and I have an interesting story to start out with, okay? Maybe some of you will remember this story, and maybe some of you know this story, but it's an interesting story. It's a story of Bathsheba and David HaMelech, right? Chazal tell us that Bathsheba was the beshert of David HaMelech, aval he was oichel paga. In other words, he ate unripened fruit. In other words, he pushed it ahead of time. Had he done absolutely nothing, he did not send her husband to the front, right? No matter what, he would have either died or divorced her, and she would have married him. That's what would have happened. Right? He ate paga. He acted too quickly. So why would it have happened? Because she was his beshert. How do we know that? Well, you know, there was a fight between David and Goliath, right? David and Goliath, right? They had a tremendous fight, and David took a stone and he hit Goliath in the head and knocked him down, but he hadn't finished the job yet. He had to finish the job. And the only way to finish the job was to get a sword, and he didn't have anything on him. He wasn't armed. To get a sword and chop off Goliath's head. That's what he had to do. But Goliath had a sword. He had a sword. So let him take the sword out. The sword was locked. It was locked in. You couldn't remove it. And the only one who knew how to remove it was the Nar, right? The young person that was serving Goliath. He knew how to do it. And David had to convince him to get this sword moving so that he can finish the job. So you know what he did, David HaMelech? He promised this Nar that if he enables him to get the sword, he will see to it that he marries a Jewish girl. You see to it he marries a Jewish girl. And this was something it seems that the Nar wanted. He was tempted. So he did it. He released the sword, did every what was necessary to release the sword. David took the sword and finished the job, and the rest is history. The rest is history. But Hashem wasn't happy. You don't treat Jewish girls, so loose. Even though, David is fighting for Klal Yisrael, and he's fighting against the enemy of Klal Yisrael, and he wants to kill Goliath, right? He's fighting, but still, you don't treat Jewish girls are not sheep. You don't promise a Jewish girl to. So you know what Hashem did to David HaMelech? Well, I can hear. He gave to this Nar. Someone's saying something that I can't hear. I'm sorry, I mamish can't hear it. All right, let me just continue. I'm sorry. I wish I could hear you, but I don't know how to do it. And we have a little bit of a problem, a technological problem, because Joey's Apter's phone is not working, and he's whatever. It's a little bit complicated. In any case, that Nar was Uri Achiti, right? And that Nar married Bathsheba. Hashem gave to that Nar David HaMelech's beshert, and he married Bathsheba, and therefore Bathsheba would have been gone to David HaMelech, right? Now this all there's a Gemara in Moed Katan. The Gemara in Moed Katan discusses the whole issue, right? But according to the Eitz Yosef, which is a parish on the very important parish on the let's see if it's that on the where is it? Going to the Eitz Yosef, if you look at the Ein Yaakov, that's the sefer that explains all the Agaritas of Shas. In Moed Katan, Yud Ches, the Eitz Yosef explains there that no matter what, if it's Bas Ploni the Ploni, it will end up like that, and therefore he says that Uri would have been either divorced her or he would have been killed in battle, whatever it might be, and David HaMelech would have married Bathsheba, because even if you marry someone who is not your beshert, eventually something will happen, and you're going to end up with your beshert. It's not shy other one. Okay, that's the Gemara in Moed Katan, and that's the way the Eitz Yosef is learning. Now, it's interesting. The Rambam is Charles and Shuvas, he has a kasha. He says, how can it be Bas Ploni the Ploni? It says in the Chumash, Shem Pen Yamuz b'Milchama v'Isha Acher Yikachena, right? That maybe if we send someone who was Moreses, who's engaged to Milchama, so how can we send him? We tell him to go back. We don't send him to Milchama. Why? Because maybe he'll die in the Milchama and somebody else will marry her. But how could that be? Bas Ploni LePloni. He's destined to marry her. He can't, right? So the Rambam says, this is the Charles and Shuvas, the Rambam. He says, if someone did a mitzvah that was so chashuv that he deserves to get a beautiful zivuk, right? So he may get somebody else's zivug. He may get somebody else's zivug. Now, if this is reward, this is schar, so it's not going to be that then he's going to die and the person's going to get back a zivug. It must be the Rambam holds that there are exceptions. It's true, bas ploni leploni, but there are exceptions. And it could be, the exceptions could be when the person himself is not deserving of such a zivug, and somebody else is deserving of her. So then there could be an exception. So I think we have a machlokes between the Rambam and other Rishonim in Moed Katan about bas ploni leploni, right? Now, the Gemara in Moed Katan is like Shmuel says Shema. The Gemara says in that Moed Katan that you can get married during Chol HaMoed. You're allowed to marry a girl during Chol HaMoed. Why? Why? Because Shema, maybe someone else will get her first. So Gemara says, how could that be? How could that be? Shmuel says, "B'kol yom v'yom bas kol." Yoed says, "Marries bas ploni leploni." So how could somebody else get her? Even if you don't get married Chol HaMoed, wait till after Chol HaMoed you get married. Right? And the Gemara says, Shema. The Gemara answers, Shema kameno acher berachamim. That in tefillah, if a person davens enough for such a good shidduch, he can get somebody else's shidduch. Right? So the question will be that will, according to the first Rishonim, he'll get the shidduch, but he's going to lose her. The second one is that and Taka, they say that don't ever ask for a particular girl. You know, someone the Gemara there, someone told this fellow, don't daven for a particular girl, right? Because it could be that that something will happen to him, and then you'll get her, and then something will happen to you afterwards, and she'll go back to him. Don't daven a particular girl. And then he says that the person was davening, didn't listen to him, and he was saying he was already davening that the one that she got engaged to should die, or else maybe even she should die rather than marry this person. He was so jealous of her. Not good meters. Definitely not good meters. In any case, that is the shaila over there. But you see the power of tefillah. It's unbelievable. Okay, now I just want to learn with you. A Gemara in Sota.
Mash, could you mute all so we don't hear the background noise, please?
Could I do what?
Could you mute all? Because someone has their line muted and you.
I can't. The host has muted all participants. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything. All right, so the Gemara in Sota. The Gemara in Sota says like this. The Gemara says, Ein mezugin lo la'adam isha ela lefi ma'asav. That Hashem gives you what you deserve. According to your actions, according to your behavior, according to the mitzvahs you do, and the avodas Hashem that you do, and the Torah that you learn, Hashem gives you such a girl, right? And then, right? The Gemara later on asks, how could that be? Omar Rav Yehuda, Omar Rav, Aboim Yom Kodem Yitziras Avlad, Bas Kol Yoetzes Omeres Bas Ploni LePloni, and you have free choice. You still have free choice, right? So how can the Gemara say Bas Ploni LePloni, right? And say it's according to your actions, it's according to your behavior, it's according to what you deserve. The other question, that's the Gemara in Sota, right? So Rashi explains the kasha in a little bit difficult way. Rashi explains that the Gemara says, Eine, is that true? Mi havi zivug lefi Russia v'schus. When we code him in Sirasam, how could it be according to the type of person that you are, what you deserve, right? She'ein noida, before he was born, we don't know if he's going to be a Russia or a schus. Machrizin ezugo, we announce his zug, right? If you ask, I call Golui Lifnei Hashem, right? Hashem knows everything. So what? So he has choice, but Hashem knows what it's going to be. So maybe he does it. Bas ploni leploni. The answer is Rashi says, "Akol yibdei shemayim chutz me'yirei shemayim." Rashi says, "Akol yibdei shemayim," except for yirei shemayim, which means it sounds like that there's a problem. That even though Hashem, if Hashem knows it, then I mean, what are you going to say? Good. Which means that a person has a choice, and it's not predestined. Fine, but good, it's not predestined. He has a choice, but Hashem knows it. So what exactly is Rashi saying? What exactly is the answer to the Gemara? That is a little bit difficult. So I have two answers here. I have two answers. One answer is simply that since it's bas ploni to ploni, right? If that would be true, the Gemara is asking, then people would think there's no choice. People would think there is no choice, even though there is. Hashem's knowledge is not going to affect it. Hashem may know, but it's not going to affect our choice, right? It's on a different plane. That's the famous thing. The Rambam says it, and all the unfortunately said it would be better that the Rambam be quiet because it's very hard to understand. But the way I usually understand it is that it's on a totally different plane. Hashem knows what we're going to do because He's already there. He's ahead of us, right? There's no time by Hashem, no concept of time. So Hashem knows what we're going to do because He's looking in hindsight, but it doesn't affect our choice. Right? But however you want to explain it, that's, it doesn't affect it. We have choice. And the Yamsur Shlomo says something very interesting. Yamsur says, the Gemara Kasha was, of course we have free choice, right? But once we say Bas Ploni LePloni, it says Bas Kol, Hashem says it, right? There was a Bas Kol that went out, Bas Ploni LePloni. Once it's a Bas Kol, it goes in the Shemayim, that's as if everybody knows it already. And it's as if that there is no choice. That was the Gemara's Kasha. And therefore the Gemara had to say, come to our terrace, that first it was talking about Zivug Rishon and Zivug Sheni. Which means the Gemara answers like this, that the first Zivug is totally in Mazel. We get the girl who is fitting for us, right? And that's Bas Ploni LePloni. But if for some reason we've been divorced, the second shidduch is according to our actions. That's according to our Maisa. And that's as hard as Kriyas Yamsu, because we're not really have the mazel for each other, right? It's just according to actions, we're fitting for each other. But the mazel, the feeling, the fact that we're so alike and we were meant for each other, that is not necessarily true by Zivuk Sheni, and that's according to our Maisa. Right, and of course, the Gemara asked, the Tosas asked, why didn't the Gemara answer that in Moed, but we're not going to go into that. In any case, the whole Indian of Beshert is very often discussed by Chazal, and there's no doubt that we should believe, if we're married, that our choice is Beshert, and that this is the one that's meant for us, right? Especially if it's Zivug Rishon. I'm talking about Zivug Rishon. And if we are not yet married and we're looking to get married, we should know that the girl that we choose, Bez Hashem Bekarev, will be the one that's Beshed for us. Okay, that's what I wanted to discuss this evening. Now, I don't know how to do it, but I'd like to open it up for questions, if it's at all possible. So maybe we can unmute the people that would like to ask a question. Is there anybody who would like to ask a question or make a comment or whatever you'd like to say?
If we say the first time is a beshert, if it doesn't work out, we consider it beshert that it didn't work out.
If it doesn't work out, that was, if the chara, that was either, according to the Ram, you could say that it was a mistake, that we married the wrong person, right? We had maybe had good reasons at that time, but it was a mistake, according to the Rambam. According to Meforshim, that whole b'sheret is absolute. So then it could also be maybe we married the wrong girl, right? So we don't really know whether it was b'sheret and the divorce was also b'sheret, or there was b'sheret and maybe we're just not living the midos that we should be living, and therefore it didn't work out. Maybe
Meisim caused
yeah.
that.
What? But Howie?
The Meisim caused it.
Yeah, and my person. Right. So it's we never know for sure, and it's just a little bit of an impetus that we should try to make things work out. That's yeah. Any other comments or questions?
Mash, can it be that someone who was once your bashert, people change over time, people grow differently? Can someone who was once your bashert no longer be your bashert?
I don't see how that would be possible, but I the way I understand that of course you have free choice, she has free choice, but if you live together, sharing your life together and working together, you're going to be able to keep her, happy and you happy, and but if because of your decisions, then she may fall out of line, or she may herself make the wrong decisions, and then not because she's not your beshert, but because the marriage is no longer fitting, right? Let's say somebody whose wife is totally decided to leave Yiddishkeit and is not willing to keep mitzvahs, and or someone that was sick, there is, in her decisions, not in her. Then the marriage cannot be saved, right? But it doesn't mean because she wasn't Yid B'Sher. She was Yid B'Sher, but she still has choice. Yeah. Will Kodesh Baruch Hu will then give you somebody else, maybe Lefi Ma'asav, somebody that's like a better for you. David Fader, I like your Madura. I like your Madura. That's beautiful.
Thanks, Rebbe. Got to keep the fire going.
We had a very special Lag BaOmer today. A lot of singing outside, singing in the Kiryah, and we had people going around with music. Everybody tried to make everybody feel Lag BaOmer, even though we weren't able to go to Meron last night. We missed that.
Were you allowed to have
With
bonfires?
the fire?
No, we were not allowed any fires whatsoever. No fires whatsoever. There was no. The only fires, in Meron, there was 3 groups that went up there, and the Rebbe lit the fire as always. But there were just 50 people at each lighting over there, and that was it. But there's still a lot of people up there that saying that they'll daven whatever you want. They'll daven for you as long as you give their tzedakah or something. Yeah, that not even Corona can stop. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to say something? Ask something? I put it on the chat. Okay. Now, how do I get to see the chat? That's the problem. I don't know because Joey is not with me now. I can't, I'm flipping my thing, but I can't see the chat. Anybody have an idea? They could tell me to see the chat?
Probably the young ones on the chat will be able to help you with that. Us elderly people.
What's the Shaila?
How I can get onto the chat. So, someone has a Shaila and says that he's going to put it on the chat, right? So I'm trying to see where I can find it.
Myself, look in the chat. I'll see what's doing.
Rabbi, if they have a shiloh, they can ask it on that chat that you read that on.
No, it wasn't a Shiloh. He was just showing his fire.
Yeah, the fire WhatsApp chat.
Oh, 1 second. Nate, I can't see the fire in Brooklyn because I have no picture by you.
Mosh, it's on the WhatsApp chat.
What?
The picture of the fire is in the WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. The music. All right, so when I finish, I'll go to the website. Right. But what I did say, but after last night, I zoomed the share. I can't hear. I zoomed the share
themselves so we can hear the mosh. Everyone mute themselves so we can hear the mosh.
I zoomed the share last night to the boys here in the and when I finished that, then I got on and I got a picture of my kids in Johannesburg. And Johannesburg, we had a fire. The whole house is closed up and everything. So they had a nice fire over there. We spent time with them and with their fire in Johannesburg, South Africa. But here in Israel, they were nothing. Okay, if there's no other questions, I think I'm going to allow my my wife to sit down. It's 9 o'clock, and we'll eat a little bit of supper.
Thanks, Mosh. Good to see you.
Thanks, Mosh. Nice to see you as always.
Okay, thank you for joining me, and I hope. Do you want me to continue on the discussion of Beshet, or you want me to speak about any other issues?
Yes, Rebbe. I thought when Mashiach comes, we're all going to have even more Basherts. I thought that we're going to have to marry all the women that are going to try to convert. That all the men are going to have lots of wives.
So one is
Are you
enough.
looking forward to that, or are you a little bit cautious about that?
My wife doesn't hear me, so I yeah, I'm nervous.
Okay.
They're gonna have to work multiple
Mine's in the
jobs.
kitchen, so no comment.
Hello, Mrs. Peters. This is Michael.
How are you doing, Michael?
Good. I was speaking to Mrs. Peters earlier about picking up weights. I wanted to see if I could come by now. Okay, sure. No. Yeah.
You must love paying tuition. You must love
Half an
it.
hour, you got it. I'll call you then. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Aye.
Good stuff.
Everyone said once in a Vega, always in a Vega.
Thank you, Rebbe. Miss you.
Okay, be well. Bye-bye. I'm out. Over and out.
We'll see you next week. Shalom, shalom.
That was hilarious. All right.
Oh, I wanted to see. What's that?
Yeah, I just finished my Zoom. I just finished.
Dimash.